All right, what's up, guys? Gonna be doing another trade review. It's gonna be for uh, March 27th, 2023. And as always, I'm gonna go over my trades first, and then all the tickers that I normally like to look at when I'm trading for opportunities. And like I always do, just to preface, I am a higher time frame flag trader or pivot break trader. And what that means is that I go in the 15-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour to look for pivot breaks or flag breaks for a continuation move. So let's start off with the first trade that I took, which was on AMD. Honestly, today was a pretty choppy day, and there wasn't really a lot of clean price action even on the higher time frames. But I was able to find this idea on AMD for a pivot break. As you can see, it's not exactly one color of direction, but there's enough direction here to create a pivot, and it's lower than this pivot. So I figured that perhaps this can make it a lower low, which it did. And so that was the thesis going into it. And if we look at the 5 minute, here is where I entered into puts at 11:05, and this period of consolidation happened. And I set my risk above 96.57. It was around almost like a 20-cent risk essentially, which is not bad at all for the reward that was given here on this trade. And I executed my rules pretty well here on this trade. Made sure to wait for anything to close above here to get out. And as you can see, that consolidation happened, and it looked like it was going to until this candle happened, and it looked like it was going to curl down and push down, which it did. And I was able to get scales around I think 95.75 is where I got most of my scales out. Because at that point my risk to reward was too good not to take off there. So yeah, I was able to get a decent move on that on AMD. I played contracts a bit farther out for some reason. I think it was because I looked at the 15 and I saw there's a range. The range of this as like if this fails, it could come up all the way up here. So I didn't want to be super risky with my contracts, but I think I'll try to base my risk off the 5 minute and decide the contracts on like that. But yeah, not a bad trade at all. Pretty solid trade. And that was good. There's a similar trade that I took on Apple, which happened after. Unfortunately, I messed up the execution here, and I'll go over exactly what happened. So on Apple, which is the second trade of the day, it actually looked much better than AMD in that it was way more directional, and it was like a pretty tight pivot in comparison to the direction. So it was pretty. Um, I was pretty locked in to take this trade because it looked very good. You know, the direction is there, and it creates a tight pivot, and then a break. You would expect this to continue down more. You know, but unfortunately, that's not exactly what happened. And so when this pivot was created, I was on the 5 minute waiting for the break, entered into puts at 12:40. You can see that it's struggling a bit here, fighting. And unfortunately, I don't. This candle ended up forming and it closed like this. And I had my stop set up here at 158.49 for a candle to close above there. And then when I saw this candle initially, it was a green candle pushing upward. And for some reason, I ended up stopping out and getting out of it because um, of how that candle initially formed instead of waiting for it to close. You always want to wait for candles to close because anything can happen within the candle, forming. So you really want to wait for the candles to close. And here's where you can see it kind of like bites me um, in the back for not waiting for the close because the move, Jesus Christ, the move actually did happen and got a bit of a move, and I definitely would have scaled some here, if not like majority of my position, seeing as though we got a lower low here after this bit of consolidation. But unfortunately, I stopped myself out early, which ended up making me break even on the day, and I'm a bit annoyed about that because I need to follow my execution rules. Um, when it comes to trading, you need to have a solid thesis or trade idea, and also execute flawlessly and follow your rules. And you can't butcher either one of those because if you do, then you're most likely going to get into something that's not in your system, and you want to trade your system always because that's your proven system that's backed by back testing and something that's like that provides you good probabilities. The probabilities are in your favor. So I ended up messing up that trade even though I was given a little bit of a move here. And yeah, I just gotta make sure as the week goes on I lock in and make sure to set my risk as soon as I enter the trade and just wait for a 5 minute to close above it to get um to get stopped out if that's the case. But yeah, those were the two trades in the day, and yeah, we can go through and look at what happened on the rest of the tickers. IWM, not really much movement at all. I guess you can call this like a pivot break here, but was not really interested in it, knowing that it's coming below VWAP, and you can see that I didn't really give much room up here when I did break. So um, had this been the initial move without all of this, then yeah, this would be an interesting thing to see because there's no supply here, and this pivot is clean without supply in the way, and you can normally look for more on that. But since the context of it was not good in terms of where it was, and coming underneath VWAP, was not really interested in that. SPY, it's very choppy, tangling around with VWAP. Nothing really here, if I'm being honest, at least in my system. Amazon actually didn't look too bad here for a pivot break, but as you can see, since everything was pretty choppy today, there was no follow through on this. This could have been a decent flag consolidation and a breakdown if context was bearish, but that ended up not happening, and it resulted in just chop. It's not really what we like to see, but yeah, AMD, we covered it. There was a one pivot break that was successful. QQQ actually didn't have a bad pivot break here, and I wish I actually saw this. This could have been a very, very nice play. Yeah, this could have been a very easy play to take, and it definitely would have yielded a nice move. Yeah, man. Oh man, I shouldn't have missed this. This is so good. I need to add QQQ to my second screen somehow. But yeah, this is a very nice move on QQQ. Damn. Yeah, as you can see, the clear direction, obviously not one color, but definitely directional move. Consolidation on the 15, and that this candle forms inside the previous candle. So you can tell that there's a level here for a pivot, and then the next candle breaks it, and you get the nice move on it. It's pretty good. But yeah, Apple, we covered it. Just needs to execute it better. Nvidia actually had a nice consolidation break here. I didn't take this because I figured the demand here would still be an issue, and it wasn't far enough for the pivot break, and it wasn't really exactly like a clean directional move down. I just thought AMD looked better, but yeah, this is a nice move as well. Pretty clean, and it gave pretty much a 2-point move. Pretty much, yeah, 2-point move. So it's not bad at all on Nvidia. Google, not really too much here. Bit of a rangy break here. Definitely could have worked though, given somewhat of a move down. But I think QQQ was probably the better play to take if you look at those side by side. Finally, Tesla. Yeah, I saw this pivot break on Tesla. I just didn't take it because it was so close to VWAP, and this didn't look like enough direction to make it a good candidate for a play to the downside. Because usually when you have if you just look at this looks like it can just go right back up to VWAP, right? This directional bar upward just does not look good, and as you can see, it did do that, but it created the pivot break and actually worked to the downside. But yeah, definitely a good move, but I just don't like this price action in the morning just because there's a lot of demand there, and as you can see, like it took 2 touches of that level for the break to happen because there is existing demand here off open. But yeah, wasn't bad at all though. It gave a pretty good move here actually. Not bad at all. But yeah, that covers it for the day. I wish I had seen QQQ because that was a very good play, honestly. But yeah, sometimes you just miss the plays and it's all good. Need to clean up the execution, but once I can lock in on that and the trade ideas, I think I'll be solid. But hope you guys had a good trading day. Hopefully you guys have a good trading week as well. And let me know if you have any questions about my strategy. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.